As the water pump began to work, the pond gradually drained, revealing schools of fish wriggling energetically beneath the morning sunlight. Huyen and Day stood by the edge of the pond, their eyes sparkling with excitement. The atmosphere buzzed with life, the gentle rush of flowing water, the splashes of fish leaping, and the laughter of the couple blending into a simple yet vibrant symphony. Huyen tearfully held her net and started scooping the fish one by one, her movements quick and skillful after months of practice. She paid close attention, making sure to select only the healthiest and most uniform-sized fish to ensure the best quality for selling. Each fish placed into the container continued to swim energetically, reflecting the sunlight and bringing a mix of joy and fascination to Huyen. Meanwhile, Day helped by moving the containers and monitoring the pump system to keep the harvesting process smooth and continuous. The harvesting went on for hours, but with their teamwork and enthusiasm, it felt effortless. Huyen would occasionally pause to wipe the sweat from her brow, yet her smile never faded. Day, too, laughed and chatted with her as they worked, creating a warm, cheerful atmosphere. Occasionally, a fish would leap out of the container, making them both laugh even harder. The simple joy and peaceful excitement filled the air around the pond. As they worked, Huyen and Day recalled the challenging months of taking care of the pond. Stormy days when they had to monitor the water constantly, sleepless nights spent ensuring the right temperature and the fish's well-being, and early mornings spent feeding and checking on the fish before other daily chores. Now, seeing over 2 tons of fish ready to be harvested, all the hard work seemed worthwhile. The happiness they felt was not just from the sheer quantity of fish, but also from knowing that their patience, effort, and dedication had finally paid off. When the containers were full, Huyen and Day exchanged proud, joyful glances. They knew this moment was more than just harvesting fish. It was a cherished memory in their shared journey of building a simple but fulfilling life together. Every laugh, every glance, and every shimmering fish in the container stood as proof of their persistence, care, and the strong bond they shared. For Huyen and Day, today's harvest was not only a successful day of work, but also a day to experience the simple joys and happiness that life could offer, hand in hand. After finishing the harvest, Huyen and Day didn't take a moment to rest. They quickly sorted the fish, selecting the largest and healthiest ones to pack into containers. Each container was carefully arranged to prevent the fish from getting injured or stressed during transportation. The area around their home became bustling with activity. The clatter of containers being stacked, the splashing of fish, and the cheerful chatter of the couple filled the air. Huyen smiled at Day, saying, "We've finished the hardest part. Now all that's left is to take the fish to the market." Day nodded, his eyes filled with pride. "All our effort has paid off, Huyen. Just look at this catch. I'm so happy." They loaded the containers onto their vehicle and secured them tightly to ensure nothing shifted during the ride. On the way to the market, Huyen and Day chatted about their journey caring for the pond, recalling the early days when they struggled with fish fry, learning how to manage water levels and feeding schedules, and gradually mastering the nuances of pond management. Each story made them laugh, but it also reminded them of the dedication, patience, and love they had poured into this work. Their bond felt stronger than ever, much like the fish they had nurtured daily, growing healthy and strong under their care. Upon arriving at the market, all their hard work seemed to be instantly rewarded. The moment they opened the containers, the fresh scent of fish, the firm texture, and vibrant colors immediately caught the attention of customers. People lingered, carefully selecting fish, praising their freshness and quality. Huyen cheerfully introduced each type of fish, shared tips on storage, and sometimes joked with regular customers. Day stood by her side, helping carry containers, weighing orders, and handling payments. The market was busy, yet for Huyen and Day, the joy did not come from the hustle and bustle. It came from the smiles, satisfaction, and appreciation of the people they served. As the day drew to a close and all the fish were sold, Huyen and Day looked at the empty containers with a sense of contentment and fulfillment. Today had brought them not only significant income, but also the simple pleasure of seeing the fruits of months of care and effort finally rewarded. They tidied up their area at the market, packed up their tools, and prepared for the trip home, hearts full of satisfaction. On the way back, Huyen leaned on Day's shoulder, closing her eyes and feeling the gentle breeze on her face. She whispered, "Today was wonderful, wasn't it?" Day held her hand tightly, smiling. Yes, it was. Simple happiness like this, it's seeing the results of our labor and feeling proud and grateful. The harvest of the day had ended, but the memories, joy, and the simple shared happiness would stay with them forever, a testament to their love, unity, and tireless effort in building a life together. Hello, dear viewers! Today, we've shared a very special day with Huyen and Day. From preparing for the harvest, excitedly catching fish in their pond, to transporting and successfully selling them at the market. This story shows not only the simple joys of daily life, but also the love, unity, and hard work of a couple building a happy life together. If you enjoy heartwarming, inspiring stories like this, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss our upcoming videos. We look forward to sharing more joyful and meaningful stories with you. The long-awaited day of harvesting the fish pond for Huyen and Day had finally arrived, bringing with it a mix of excitement and anticipation after months of tireless care. From the very first days of stocking the pond, they had poured countless efforts into ensuring the best conditions, monitoring water quality, tracking the growth of every fish, feeding them on time with the right food, and most importantly, keeping the pond clean and safe from predators. Each fish in the pond had almost become a member of the family, and now, seeing them swimming energetically in the clear water, Huyen and Day felt a deep sense of pride. Early that morning, when the first rays of sunlight gently filtered through the trees surrounding the pond, Huyen woke up earlier than usual. She carefully prepared all the tools, nets, containers, and every necessary item to make the harvesting process smooth and efficient. Every step was checked meticulously, from making sure the containers were large enough and clean, to arranging auxiliary tools to prevent any fish from getting hurt. Meanwhile, Day headed to the water pump area, double-checking all the valves to ensure the system would run steadily without interruptions. He knew that if the pump failed, the whole day's work could be wasted, so every detail had to be perfect. The atmosphere around the pond that morning was truly special. The chirping of birds mixed with the gentle rustling of leaves and the sunlight shimmering across the water created a lively and vibrant scene. Huyen and Day stood on the edge of the pond, their eyes sparkling with anticipation. The excitement radiated through them as they knew that today they would share a very special moment, harvesting the fruits of their hard work together. Huyen whispered to herself, "Every fish in this pond is the result of patience, effort, and love." Day smiled softly and returned her gaze with warmth. "We did it, Huyen. Today is going to be a day to remember." The combination of excitement, joy, and a touch of nervousness made the morning feel even more magical. every detail, the fresh scent of damp soil, the gentle ripples on the water, and the sunlight reflecting on the pond added to the perfect picture of this harvest day. With careful preparation and eager spirits, Huyen and Day were ready to step into a promising day. From the very first moments, they could feel that every effort, every hour of tending the pond would finally be rewarded. Today was not just about harvesting fish, it was a celebration of joy, togetherness, and a memorable milestone in their peaceful, happy life built
Hello,
side by
hello
side.
everyone. Xin chào tất cả các khán giả của kênh Live Single RV. Vậy là câu chuyện của chúng ta ngày hôm nay đã kết thúc tại đây. Trong câu chuyện của chúng ta ngày hôm nay thì Đệ và Huyền đã có một mẻ bội thu cá rất là lớn với những con cá rất là to, và Huyền và Đệ đã mang số cá này ra chợ bán và đưa về được một số tiền rất là lớn. Số tiền này có thể giúp Huyền và Đệ có thể trang trải rất là nhiều chi phí trong cuộc sống và để nâng cấp lông trại của hai người được phát triển hơn nữa. Mọi tình tiết hấp dẫn về câu chuyện Huyền, Đệ cũng như cuộc sống xoay xung quanh họ và bé May A sẽ còn được kể ở các video tiếp theo. Các bạn đừng quên bấm vào nút đăng ký kênh để nhận được thông báo mới nhất về câu chuyện sẽ được phát sóng hàng ngày trên kênh Live Single RV nha. Đặc biệt, nếu các bạn thấy video hôm nay hay, hấp dẫn thì hãy cho mình xin nút like, share và để lại bình luận ở dưới video nhé. Cảm ơn các bạn rất nhiều đã luôn theo dõi và ủng hộ kênh của mình. Mọi đóng góp của các bạn đều là những ý kiến quý báu đối với mình, giúp cho mình có thể hoàn thiện các nội dung hay hơn nữa để phục vụ đến các khán giả. Xin chào và hẹn gặp lại các bạn vào ngày mai. Thanks for your watching. Bye bye and see you tomorrow everyone. Bye bye.